It kills me when people say, oh, contractors have no business identifying damage. Well, I mean, if you are a contractor like a handyman type contractor and there's something wrong with your screen door and you called me to fix that, don't I need to figure out what's wrong with the screen door? And so I think there's all these myths that go on. But to your point, yes, I believe that it starts with the evidence and the documentation and the proof. I'm very old school. Like, I'm not relying on any silver bullet or special magical form that you get a client to sign. All it is for me is about collecting the actual evidence. So, like you said, every job site to me is like a crime scene that must be investigated, right? Like it's like full on CSI crime scene technician, style, where everything's got to be dusted for prints, for example. If you could think of it in that way. Essentially, every insurance estimate that I've ever seen over 23 years of experience has been short. That's remarkable. Like, I used to own a virtual estimating company where I did hundreds and thousands of estimates throughout the year. And I had to look at all these insurance estimates all over the country. We wrote estimates in Canada and French for people in Quebec, but every estimate I've ever seen is short, with, the exception of maybe a typo where they add too many zero or too many the decimals in the wrong place. But every estimate that I've ever seen from an insurance adjuster has been short. And that's because every line item on an estimate has a dollar sign next to it, has a dollar amount next to it. It equals a dollar amount. If there are not enough line items on the estimate, it's short. And so you have to figure out why. There's a reason why there's not enough line items on the estimate. And that could happen. That could be because of a multitude of reasons, but one of which being that the adjuster never saw the item in the first place. They never saw the item in the first place. So inspections for me, if you're talking about like these hurricane claims that are down there where you are, or hail damage around the rest of the country, or wind out west or anywhere else, if it's an exterior type claim like that, a tornado or a tree falls on a house, then for me, every room, closet, and hallway in that building needs to be inspected. That's the way I look at it, right? So for me, that's not 10 photos. That's hundreds of photos. That's not 20 minutes. That's 2-3 hours or more of going through and, checking out with a flashlight or thermal imaging camera, all of the moisture that's in the building, on every ceiling, around every window, around every door, and then going around to the out and getting it up into the attic. By the way, that's the best way to get decking bought. People say oh, they don't approve it because they don't approve rot. The policy excludes rot. Well, there's 3 different building codes, perhaps 4, that'll get that deck bought that has nothing to do with rot. I don't say rot. That's a bad word. Rot, mold, these are all bad words. I never say it. Because what causes rot? What causes mold? Water, right? But has to be solidly sheathed, the deck. I think most people know about that. But it cannot be water saturated underlayment. Can't roof over top of water saturated underlayment. You can't roof over top of water soaked decking. Also, a 4th one perhaps is you must follow all manufacturer specifications. So no manufacturer specifications are going to allow you to roof over top of a warped deck, a rotted deck, a cracked deck, a deck with too many holes in it because it had too many roofs, or any of that. So for me, it's about the building codes, So that's really for me. And I know I'm just going on and on because I want to give you good content. I want to provide as much value as I possibly can. Like my events are like fire. It's like a fire hose of information, But I guess finally, what I really want to say is like a fundamental to my teachings that I teach the most is that. And I don't like that term teach, because it's really just sharing what I've learned I hate to think of myself as a teacher talking over people. But for contractors, what really is the purpose that a contractor is hired to do for an insurance project? And the answer to that is not to go fix a roof, or not to replace a hardwood floor or cabinets, or to fix up fire damage. Really, the way that I view it is that, and this is what helps me so very much, it's like the starting position whenever I'm responding to an adjuster about anything really. which is that the contractor, the thing that they're contractually obligated to do, they're contractually bound to do, is they are hired as the contractor to perform all repairs that are prescribed by the insurance claim. That's the way I look at it. Okay. So it kind of helps me to, as a contractor, I like to let the insurance company make the first move. Let them come out, let them apply the coverage to the claim. Okay. They're going to pay a certain amount of money if they do apply coverage. It's not near enough. I know that. But I get happy because they've applied coverage. They've opened the door. What I say is take that money off the table. Like get them to send the money that they're trying to offer up, take it off the table, put it in the bank, like go ahead and get it out of their hands, and then come back to them because like they offer up the coverage, and as the contractor, I am legal or I'm contractually obligated to go and perform all the repairs that are prescribed by them for the total amount of the replacement cost value. That would be my version, the approved replacement cost value amount. But everything that they put on there, that's my job now for that amount, right? And so I take that prescription, that instruction list from the adjuster, if you will, the marching orders, and I go try to carry them out, right? And as I'm carrying those orders out, then I realize right away that I'm running into a brick wall, be it building codes or missing items or other things, or it doesn't have enough supporting items to complete, the task that they're trying to get me to complete. So that causes me to then approach them with the supplement. Does that make sense? So it's like let them make their move and then I react. So I'm at all times being a counterpuncher. But then when I submit my supplement, then they're asking me, why do you have this? Why do you have that? And that's the arena where I feel like I can win the most, is where an adjuster is going down through the estimate item by item, right? But I just feel like, I don't know about your thoughts, but because I can't speak on how an attorney does things or a public adjuster. I just can't. I can't imagine. I would never try to speak on their thoughts on that. But I wonder if that's not even a good thing in your world. Like where you let them make the move, apply the coverage, and then you pounce. But I don't know.